It is essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
What makes your day a beautiful day? That is you waking up right in good right frame of mind, and you telling yourself that I am going to have a great day. There is nothing called the bad side of the bed. Your mattress is good in every side. It's your mindset that is either good or bad at your mindset. Welcome to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Yes, the Thursday edition of Freshlight, which comes your way 15 minutes after 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. We get to save you the stress of flipping through the newspaper pages by taking the headlines one after the other and taking the very, very important aspect of it for you to be in the know as you are either settling down at work or driving to work, or you're trying to do your chores at home. Welcome to Freshlight once again. I am OLUWAFISAYOMI, AJIBOLA. Okay, this morning on Freshlight, we would be coming to you with Vanguard, Daily Sun, Punch, and also Daily Trust. Starting from Vanguard newspaper, you will see this cover: NLC, TUC kick, Senate OK's FG's 22.7 trillion naira ways and means. Also on the cover page, you will see Buhari launches Agenda 2050. Yes, that big bold picture where President Muhammadu Buhari is here, and also that of the Vice President. Organ harvesting, Senate seeks pardon for Ekweremadu. My 4 wives, not me, 28 children, prove I will succeed as Speaker, Dogwa. Okocha drags D off. Radebe, song connoted to Nigeria. That is the sports column of Vanguard. 10th NAS, we will contest for rep, Speaker says opposition parties. And also you will see this headline on the cover page again. LP disowns the Papa-led faction, blames APC government and WC members. Also you will see the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon on the front page of Vanguard. Very funny one. I want you to go and read it. My mom needs 200,000 naira urgently. What are we going to do about it? That is from Mrs. And Mr. replied, when you use the word we, who are you referring to? Because I know we in this case is me. That cartoon is one fresh way, or one on the lighter mood to start with this Freshlight this morning. Going into the details of Freshlight this morning, let's start with I don't owe you. Lobby me to pay, Tinubu tells Wike. It has the rider as Wike demands refund of federal roads built by Rivers government. President-elect AJIBOLA Tinubu yesterday said federal government under his administrations owe no obligation to make refunds of federal projects undertaken by states of the Federation. Tinubu was responding to a request by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State in Port Harcourt at the inaugurations of Rumokota flyover during a 2-day visit to the state. However, told the Rivers governor that he could reconsider his stance on the request on the condition that the governor lobbies him. I don't owe you. Lobby me to pay, Tinubu tells Wike. That it's on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. 10th National Assembly leadership We are working on consensus arrangement, APC. Ahead of the inaugurations of the 10th National Assembly in June, the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, has said it will work with President-elect AJIBOLA Tinubu to come up with an acceptable consensus arrangement for the leadership of the legislature. National chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, disclosed this after a troubleshooting meeting of the National Working Committee (NWC) yesterday in Abuja. 10th National Assembly, we are working on consensus. Yes, this is being reported by Vanguard newspaper as published this morning. Also on Vanguard newspaper, you will see FG concludes plans to explore alternative funding models for Nigeria's oil gas development. The federal government has concluded plans to explore alternative funding models for the development of oil and gas in Nigeria. This is targeted at achieving the sustainable development of the nation's petroleum resources despite funding challenges that investors encounter in the process of investing in Nigeria. The Chief Executive, Nigerian Upstream Downstream Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, disclosed this at the opening of the pavilion and exhibition stand of Nigerian oil and gas companies at the Oil Technology Conference, OTC, which opened in Houston, Texas, United States of America, yesterday. FG conclude plans to explore alternative funding models for Nigeria's oil and gas development. The Vanguard has the details. Also, on the Vanguard newspaper, you will see this. Sokoto governor-elect set up committee to probe Tambuwa's administration. The governor-elect for Sokoto State, Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto, has set up finance and debt verification committee to probe the outgoing Governor Aminu Tambuwa administration. Recall that Sokoto was elected under the platform of All Progressive Congress, APC. The committee, headed by the Deputy Governor-elect Mohammed Idris Gobi, is tasked to identify all loans secured by Tambuwa's government since inception. The committee will also ascertain if the loans collected were utilized for the purpose they were meant for. Sokoto Governor set to probe Tambuwa. You will see that on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Sit at home, provide vehicle security for workers on Monday, NLC tells Soludo. Emeka Nwafo, chairman of Anambra State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has asked Governor Chukwuma Soludo to provide vehicles and security for workers coming to work to Awka, the state capital, on Mondays in view of the sit at home. He said by so doing, workers would feel safe and comfortable to shun Monday's sit at home and continue and come to work on Mondays as directed by Governor Soludo. Reacting to Soludo's May Day rally directive that every civil servant in the state must henceforth be coming to work on Mondays or be prepared to have their salaries cut. Nwafo noted that it will be suicidal for workers coming from areas like Iyala, Onitsha, and Agwata to board commercial vehicles on Mondays to travel to Awka and go back after the day's work without assured security arrangement by the government. Sit at home, provide vehicle security for workers on Mondays, NLC tells Soludo. And lastly, on Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria security deteriorating, but military has done a good job. Lawan. Senate President Ahmed Lawan said yesterday that the security situation in some part of the country was deteriorating. He, however, noted that the military had done a good job in trying to fix it. Lawan made the comment after the senator representing Plateau North, East Itafu Giang, drew the attention of the Senate to attacks by bandits in some communities in Plateau State. In a personal explanation to his colleagues yesterday, Yang lamented that bandits had become so emboldened that they give notice before attacking their targets. Nigerian security deteriorating, but military has done a good job. That is coming from Lawan. Moving to another newspaper this morning, we move to Daily Trust. On Daily Trust, you will see covers like speakership, opposition intensify plot to upstage APC. Also, several riders like we are more than prepared. It is a fruitless move, Chief Whip. We will abide by rulings party decision, task force forum. They will succeed. Okay, also, Sudan crisis. Nigerian evacuees airlifted from Egypt without luggage. So many dramas about this airlifting of Nigerians from Sudan. Ways and means. Senate okays Buhari's 22.7 trillion request. That is from Daily Trust. And also on Daily Trust, Buhari launches Nigerian Agenda 2050. Target over 150 million jobs. Buhari launches Nigeria Agenda 2050. Target over 150 million jobs. Those are the headlines on Daily Trust this morning. Let's take it one after the other. Speakership oppositions intensify plots to upstage APC. The opposition caucus in the House of Representatives has stepped up on its plans to upstage the ruling All Progressive Congress APC by feeding a candidate for the position of Speaker. Daily Trust reports. The caucus, under the aegis of Greater Majority, rose from a crucial meeting at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja on Tuesday night with a resolution to feed candidates for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker at the 10th National Assembly. The membership of the caucus is drawn from main opposition parties, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Social Democratic Party (SDP), the Nigerian Party (NNPP), Young People's Party (YPP), and All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA), and Labour Party (LP). Speakership. Opposition intensify plots to upstage APC. Daily Trust has the details. Also on Daily Trust, FG to Senate. You can't stop demolitions of aviation agencies' offices. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has said that the Senate cannot stop the plans to demolish head offices of aviation agencies at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Sirika, who addressed State House reporters after the Federal Capital Executive Council meeting, was reacting to the Senate's recent directive that the offices of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority be stopped forthwith, pending the outcome of the intervention being made by its Committee on Aviation. He said the Senate resolution was merely advisory, noting that the demolition was to beautify the airport and stop the occurring fire outbreak at the makeshift structures. FG to Senate, you can't stop demolitions of aviation agency offices. Daily Trust is reporting this morning. Also on Daily Trust, BUN nominate Trust TV for Broadcasting Award. The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, has nominated Trust TV, owned by Media Trust Group, for the inaugural editions of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards in the various categories. The award will be held on May 17. BAN nominate Trust TV for Broadcasting Awards. That you will see on Daily Trust newspaper. Also on Daily Trust newspaper, Fashola to senators. Direct your inquiry on 6 trillion naira ground rent to SGF. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, yesterday urged the Senate ad hoc committee investigating the 6 trillion unpaid ground rent to direct its inquiry to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Fashola stated this in Abuja when the committee, chaired by Senator Adamu Ailero, visited him. The committee was mandated to probe and recover over 6 trillion naira accrued from the non-payment of ground rent from property built and allocated to various beneficiaries by the federal government. Fashola to senators, direct your inquiries on 6 trillion ground rent to AGF. Okay, also, Arabic teachers urge AU to restore peace in Sudan, Palestine. The Nigerian Association of Teachers of Arabic and Islamic Studies has urged the African Union and other international communities to intervene and restore peace and harmony back to Sudan, I beg your pardon. This is contained in a communique issued after the meeting of the Association National Executive Committee held at the Ekiti State University at Ekiti. The communique was jointly signed by NATAIS President Musa Adeshina Abdulrahim and Secretary Muhammad Sharif Ramadan. It also condemned the invasion of Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine by the Jewish security operative, which prevented the Palestinian Muslim worshippers from using the mosques, particularly during the month of Ramadan. Arabic teachers urge AU others to restore peace in Sudan, Palestine. Daily Trust has the details. Okay, also on Daily Trust, we'll see this story. EFCC secure final for future of Kano agencies 324 houses. EFCC secures final for future of Kano agencies. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission yesterday secured final forfeiture of 324 houses recovered from the Kano State Pension Fund trustees. Justice Inyangekwo of the Federal High Court Abuja gave the order of final forfeiture while ruling on a motion filed by the EFCC that the houses were reasonably suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities of Kano State Pension Fund trustees. EFCC spokesman Wilson Wajaran said the properties comprises 168 homes situated at Sheikh Jafar Muhammad Adam Badiri City, Kano, 122 houses at Sheikh Naziru Kaba, Amana City, Kano, and 38 houses at Sheikh Khalifa Isiaq Rabiu City, Kano. EFCC secures final forfeiture of Kano agencies 324 houses. Lastly, on Daily Trust, before moving on to another newspaper, let's give attention to Obaseki sacks over 200 aides. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has sacked over 200 aides, including commissioners. A statement by the Special Advisor Media Project to the Governor, Crosio Sage, said the terminations of appointments, which took immediate effect, affected all Special Assistants, SAs, and Senior Special Assistant SSAs. The State Cabinet was dissolved during the weekly Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. The Governor, however, expressed appreciation to members of the Council for their service to the government and people of the states. Obaseki sacks over 200 aides. That you will see on Daily Trust. We'll go for a commercial break. When we'll come back, we'll look at the other two papers we have left with us on Freshlight this morning. Do stay with us.
Thousands have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those who are in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case at Tausaf Travels and Tour. We have in-depth detailed successfully without stress help you visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visiting and visa, student visas like Europe, America? It's no big deal to us at Tausaf Travels and Tour. Our expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA, and Canada with a twinkle of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. Waiting for. Consult us at number 9, South Central Mall, behind Roy Hotel. 0802 733 0900 or 0806 4060. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of house of travel. Thousands have been disappointed.
House of Zion. House of Zion. The name I top-notch fashion, quality materials and class. House of Zion. Etima Rojulowo Turkey wears, clothing, Dubai. I want designer bags lóríṣiríṣi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ bàtà tó jìnnà tọjọ́, designer sunglasses and perfumes, pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tóbìnrin àsìkò fi ń gbafẹ́ lò gbà. Ojú mi ń ṣe kámi èmi ni ó rà. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹlẹ́sìn tẹ́ gbòógì gbọ́n pa fashion tẹ́ wá nílò jàlábíà, hijab àti àbí Zayana lẹ́ò ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ràn wà ní 52 Ọlọ́run ṣògo road church Agape parish Ọlọ́run ṣògo Abẹ́òkúta. Lórí Instagram House of Zion 08168888618 House of Zion ìtajà tá àti nǹkan aṣaralóge tí ń gbéni níyì.
Yes, you're still on to Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, and Freshlight is the program you'll listen to, where we save you the stress of flipping through the newspaper pages. Okay, now let's go through the Sun newspaper. On the Sun newspaper, you will see these. I won't marginalize any part of Nigeria. Tinubu, that is on the cover page of the Sun. Senate approves FG 22.7 trillion CBN loan request. Buhari launches Nigeria Agenda 2050. Earpiece accuses NLC of targeting the operation. Also on cover page, court adjourns Kanu's applications for medical leave. Obi mantra mandatory for elected LP office holders, says party. Nance, we are not in a hurry to zone offices at Damu APC chair. Police list 25 distress barracks for demolition in Lagos. And also opposition reps elect insist on contesting speakership position. These are some of the cover stories on Daily Sun. Let's start with Senate approves Buhari's 22.7 trillion loan request. The Senate yesterday approved 22 billion. I don't think I want to bite my tongue. 22 trillion 719 million 703,000 22 trillion 719 billion 703 million 774,306 trillion ways and means advances taken from Central Bank of Nigeria CBN by the federal government. It was sent to the Senate last year by President Muhammadu Buhari. Ways and means and loans or advances given by the CBN to the federal government to enable it cater for short-term or emergency finance to refund delayed government expected cash receipt of deficits. Adopting the report of his special committee on ways and means, which considered the president's request, the Senate said the restructuring sum of 22 trillion for ways and means advances was approved because the advances were made to ensure that the government does not shut down. Senate approves Buhari 22.7 trillion loan request. The Sun has the details. Enugu community protest alleged murder of Abga Guba's parent, cause for probe. The people of Ozahala community in Nkanu West local government area are vowed not to rest until the killers of their son, Chief Don Sude, Abga gubernatorial aspirant in Enugu State, are arrested. Members of the community came out in their numbers, adorned in black and carrying various placards on Wednesday in Enugu to protest the one murder too many. Ude was kidnapped on April 22 and his decomposing body was later found on April 26 at 9th Mile Corner, Udi local government area of the state. Enugu community protests alleged murder of Abga Guba's parent, call for probes. Also on the Sun, I would not marginalize any part of Nigeria, Tinubu. Tinubu is saying this morning. Okay, the cover page. Okay, it has this rider. Hails Wike for championing justice, but declines commitment on refund of money spent building federal roads, bridges in rivers. Okay. The details, President-elect AJIBOLA Tinubu has pledged that this administration would not marginalize any part of the country. The former Lagos State Governor, who spoke yesterday at the commissioning of Rumokota-Rumohola flyover bridge in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, promised that his administration will leave legacy projects across the length and breadth of Nigeria. This is as he commended Governor Nyesom Wike for standing for justice and insisting that it was turn of the South to produce a president after Muhammadu Buhari. Tinubu, who is an All Progressive Congress APC leader, described Wike, People's Democratic Party governor, as dependable ally. He said Wike's principles stand for the Southern president led to his victory on April 25. I would not marginalize any part of Nigeria. Tinubu, the Sun, is reporting that this morning. Also on the Sun newspaper, you will see Buhari launches Agenda 2050. President Muhammadu Buhari has launched a new long-term national development plan known as Agenda 2050. He inaugurated the NA 2050 yesterday in Abuja before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting. NA 2050 is aimed at ensuring Nigerians attain a GDP per capita of $33.28 million per annum, placing the country among the top middle-income economies in the world by 2050. GDP per capita is a measure of country's total economic output divided by its total population. Buhari launches Nigerian Agenda 2050. The Punch has the details of this. Okay, lastly, on the Sun newspaper rather. Lastly, on the Sun newspaper, Obi mantra. Obi mantra mandatory for elected LP office holder. Labour Party LP has said people who won elective position on his platform, including Abia State Governor-elect Alex Oti, will always maintain the standard his presidential candidate Peter Obi set as Anambra State Governor. His National Vice Chairman Southeast Innocent Okeke, who stated this, said the awareness already created by the party's flag bearer in his presence for production instead of consumption would not only be rehabilitated but improved upon in the next dispensation, when the party will hopefully take over the mantle of the leadership in the country. Obi mantra mandatory for elected LP office holder. That is on the Sun newspaper. Moving to the last paper for the day, which is the Punch newspaper. On Punch newspaper, you will see the cover page. Outrage as Senate approved Buhari's 22.7 trillion extra budgetary spending. Outrage as Senate approved Buhari's 22.7 trillion extra budgetary spending. Okay, also you will see this on You will see this on Punch newspaper. Agenda 2050 projects 33,000 per capita GDP. APC National Working Committee fails to zone National Assembly leadership seat. Police arrest Osho twins for cultism. These are some of the leading story on Punch newspaper as reports this morning. Going to the details of Punch newspaper, let's start from 28 days to go. Outrage as Senate approves Buhari's 22.7 trillion extra budgetary spending. Prominent economics, Nigerian Employers Consultative Association and opposition parties took a swipe at the President Muhammadu Buhari and the Senate over the government's 22.7 trillion extra budgetary spending approved by the Upper Legislative Chamber on Wednesday. While groups including the NECA and the Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry questioned the rationale for the loan by a regime that was approaching its exit, economics in separate interviews with the Punch described the approval by the Senate as unusual. To get details of that story, pick a copy of Punch newspaper this morning and read these details. FG disconnects discos from national grid over debt. Millions of electricity consumers will be plunged into darkness in the coming weeks as the federal government, via the Transmission Company of Nigeria, and the marketer operators have begun a massive disconnections of debtors' electricity distribution companies from the national grid. Punch findings show that the development followed notice of disconnection from the grid served on some of the discos by the market operators. FD disconnect discos from national grid over debts. The Punch is reporting that. Okay, going to also another story on the Punch. Abia police confirm cop beheaded assures informants protection. The Abia State Police Command confirmed the recapitalization of an assistant superintendent of police in Abia last Tuesday. According to the State Public Relations Officer Godfrey Ogbonna, the act was dastardly and highly condemnable. He called for credible information on the perpetrators or anyone found with the firearm suspected to be unlawfully obtained. Abia police confirmed cop beheaded, assured informant protection. That you will see and Punch newspaper. Going to the metro page of Punch newspaper, Edo police train officers in weapon handling professionalism. The Edo State Police Command has commenced the training of officers of the command on weapon handling and other activities. The Commander Mopo 5 Bini ACP Abib Rabiu, who is in charge of the training, said the exercise was to enhance the capacity of the officers and professionalism in their day-to-day activities. He said the training centers on physical training, handling of arms and hazard maneuvering would strengthen the force in reporting in responding to issues and also end accidental discharge. Edo Police train officers in weapon handling professionalism. That is on Punch newspaper. Okay, let's pick one more story on sports on Punch newspaper before we call it a day. Just in, Leeds appoint Allardyce to replace sacked Gracia. Leeds have sacked manager Javi Gracia and appointed Sam Allardyce for the rest of the season as they bid to avoid relegations from the Premier League. Having already removed Director of Football Victor Otta, the club announced the departure of Spaniard Gracia on Wednesday along with his backroom staff. Gracia, who is also arrived at Leeds in February, leaves the club after 4 defeats in 5 Premier League games. They are outside the drop zone on goal differences with 4 goals remaining. The Punch is reporting that sports story about the appointment of Sam Allardyce as the new coach of Leeds United. Thank you for listening to Freshlight this morning. Let's again do it tomorrow, where we would be bringing to the fore new, fresh newspaper headlines, as it is our culture on Freshlight. I am OLUWAFISAYOMI AJIBOLA. Stay with the loop, Al-IyamoyeTv and read.